Thank you for writing MRAIL, the new safety video. This is Auditorium Station Auditory Nerve, a Cebus iPhone. This is Pink Shorts, Verbal Contract Civil Code Section 1622. Dismiss the use of land zoning communicating with your patents, zoning laws prevention, electoral college free, Ohio, red, they have Tim Toil Tom SBLU1 and communicating with your patents via my client's medulla, primary motor cortex, primary visual, primary articulate fasciculus, auditory, my left leg, my hippocampus, my vertical left leg, Braca, my one Senate tower, U1, angular gyrus or any part of the left or right hemisphere of the brain is in agreement and acceptance of identical evidence and discretion of all kinds obtained with Pink Shorts and Merriweather businesses. I am co-producer, CNN, Fox, NBC, CBS, ABC News, and other various media outlets, including the White House. I am a contributor. Contact us at 594-1443. Telephone pay. Pay your Geico bills at 1-800-932. The rest is my identity. Mechanical overhearing mob. 1-800-443-74011. Miss Cleo. 1-800-980-8637. Gary Harris.
Communicate information to the American public about his health.
Two-party consent law is required to record any conversation, confidential communication, including a private conversation with the White House, the President of the United States, or any government entity without the consent of all parties to the conversation. This is a news program. This is a news program. Penal Code PC 632. Statutes of limitation on applying grand scandal intrusion claims last for 2 years in California. According to Civil Code Section 335.1, recognized intrusion upon seclusion. Howell versus New York Post Co. This is a live email you have received. Duty of confidentiality and breach of patient confidentiality denied to prevent critical non-compliances. Fines. An intrusion of seclusion is a special form of invasion of privacy. It applies when you intrude physically and otherwise solitude of the seclusion of another, who in Moy states, intrusion on seclusion, a plaintiff must generally establish 4 elements. First, without authorization, must have intentionally invaded the private affairs of the plaintiff or babysitting business. Second, offensive to a reasonable person or a babysitting business. Third, a private matter and or a babysitting business. Fourth and finally, cause mental anguish, pain, and suffering, punitive and compensatory damages to the plaintiff. Please refer to mass tort claims, intrusion upon seclusion. I'm the attorney guy, not the black guy. Thank you, attorney guy, not the black guy. I'm very excited. I'm wearing Savvy from head to toe. I did everything you wanted me to do it. Is wanted. It's on the vest in stores, audio experience, 11 song, motivational speaker, richest man in America, universe world, galaxy. Send me some of that peach cobbler, paint the short way. I saved your files, highest paid singer in the world. Tweet us via early or late at FRESH_JORDNZ. I wish I could do the ceremony every 20 minutes of the hour. Remember 311 author speed your screening process on liquids lesbian lining of 3 ounces container, American, united. Remember we're intercepting wire, oral, and electronic communications. Prohibited, the new prohibition, electoral college. Today's show is sponsored by MerriweatherA.Law, America's first singing attorney. We make the law sound wonderful, the way it should have been. Besides everything. I love the song Close the Doors. The music will sink into the sound system. The temperature's on 67 degrees. We're in a luxury 2017 luxury from me to you. You can roll your windows up. You can roll your windows down. You can ride with us. There's no registry. To get the finer things in life, my co-hosts and friends and I am Miss Currency. Vote in Utah's perjury, V Siri, PHRJ. Oh, Bim. Our video's already in progress. Hello, White House. How are you? Pink shorts. Hello. Where's your registry? Registrar? Espellion, hello. Verbate himself. We're in process.
Well, Kevin,
Well,
the
Kevin,
meeting that the president has,
communicating with the president
is an opportunity for
is
the
an
president
opportunity
to sit down with
to sit down with
Democratic
Democratic
and Republican leaders
Republican leaders
to discuss
to
the
discuss rather long list
that Congress needs to address.
Congress needs to address.
It's hard to rank them in priority.
It's hard to rank them.
So many of them are
important.
And the failure of Congress
priorities
significant negative consequences.
Some of the items we're referring to, United States Congress, prevent government shutdown. Our view should be and not freighted conjugal writers
have led to a government shutdown.
HIV.
So we're hopeful that Congress.
That are facing.
We've spent a lot of time talking. Since
February.
About the need for
Congress
to fight the Zika.
For where we're going.
Our public health professionals.
That
they need additional resources. To protect the American people. I
just saw a MasterCard. Hello, MasterCard. How are you?
On behalf of governors,
the nation's credit. Hello.
And Republicans
urging Congress to act.
There are
other priorities like partnership, criminal justice with Celco, doing business as Verizon, consideration, important, top priorities. These are priorities, each of them, where Congress is not fulfilled, American people. Each of these, there should be some itching. But the Republicans, Congress, refuse to compromise
with regard to the situation.
It's quite serious.
Last month there was
a conversation
about
whether the president should interrupt his vacation. And at the time, that the president was focused on doing his job, focusing on the fundamentals.
And what we have seen
here
an
extraordinary partnership
between state
and local officials and the federal government to ensure Channel 4, News 4 Doppler, WIVB, to try to meet HW's agenda. More than 64 families have received federal assistance through one or more, including one towards paying for all stays. $260 million total payments. Policyholders file claim. And the president recently announced last week the federal share that would increase
additional support to the state
government.
He's trying to meet the needs.
Who've been affected by the flood.
We've been focused on
right leg shock, he died.
Effective federal response to the situation. The president also a couple of weeks ago had an opportunity to visit one of the communities.
Been so negatively affected, devastated.
And the president
had the opportunity some of the people
who have lost
so much.
So there's been a lot of attention. Administration
responsibilities
to the people of Louisiana. we've done.
We've done.
The President believes that
President
there
believes
are
that
additional resources.
additional
increase the
resources
assessment of the governor.
of the
That
governor
additional resources are likely to be needed
likely to be needed
to help the people of Louisiana.
to help the
recover.
people of Louisiana in the floods.
And so
And so
I
that
recognize there's a lot
message
of
has been
moralizing
approved to Katrina
about how the president should do his
about
job.
our lift
Well, he's done.
rides.
And so the question now
And
is,
so the question now is,
are Republicans in Congress?
are
gonna do their
Republicans
job?
in Congress?
They've just got back from
They just got back from
an uninterrupted
an uninterrupted
7-week vacation.
7-week vacation.
Are they going to do right by the people?
Are they going to do right by the people of the United States?
I think we're going to find out.
Including to find out.
Aisha.
Aisha.
Thank you. Following up on the meeting.
Today's show is sponsored by ZONING. Fluff the zone. Nosy people, so nosy, aren't they? Curious. Curiosity. Nosy nose. Keep your nose up my business.
Is that something that the administration could get behind?
Well, Aisha, this is
Aisha,
the category of the kinds of things.
The kinds of things.
We're just a couple of reasonable people
Just
like you and me.
Like
sit
you and
down
me.
across the table to
Figure out.
meet the country's priorities.
Meet the
including
country's
fighting
priorities.
the virus.
Think about a Zika virus.
A couple of hours. That's not the situation.
That's not the situation.
Instead, we've got
Instead,
Republicans
we-
in Congress
Congress
capitalize on this opportunity
Capitalize
to play politics.
to play politics.
And it wasn't just
Writers
related.
writers related.
Funding for Planned Parenthood.
I produced the news all day
The irony,
yesterday.
of course,
CNN,
is associated
Fox.
with the fact that the Zika virus is
I'm a
actually
co-producer.
sexually transmitted disease.
Transmitted disease.
So the fact that
So the fact
Republicans
that-
want funding for
For
contraception
is
is not
is
just
not just
ironic, it's dumb.
it's dumb.
But we also saw
But
that there
we've
are writers
also
associated
Associated
with limiting
with
or constraining the EPA's
EPA
regulatory authority,
authority,
and even a writer associated with
associated
Confederate
with
flags being displayed
being
at certain
displayed
federally run cemeteries across the country.
across the country.
So Republicans,
So
have been playing
Republicans,
politics with the Zika virus
the Zika virus,
since before.
since before
Frankly, most Americans. had even
most
heard of the Zika
Americans,
virus. The president put
the
forward
president
a specific
put forward
proposal
proposal
almost 7 months ago.
This
This is a funding proposal.
is
that
the
was
funding
developed
proposal
by
side
the
effect.
nation's public health experts who itemized exactly what they believed
itemized
was necessary
They believe it's
to
necessary.
do everything possible to
Everything
prevent
possible.
the, Zika virus.
A Zika virus.
Congress is not acting
Congress is
on
not,
that funding request, and it's
and it's a side
it's
effect
quite unfortunate.
of the medicine.
So
So
the president is
the president
once again,
is,
gonna make the
once
case
again,
against
make the
exactly
case.
what, Republicans in
it's a
Congress
side
should do.
effect.
Again, I think it's
And
a
again,
question about whether or not they'll fulfill their responsibilities.
Whether or not the further responsibilities.
Would the White House be willing to support if you didn't have those additional writers?
Today's show is sponsored by side effects of the medicine.
1.1 billion, which is less than what you asked.
Zonalin.
And cuts to other programs to pay for that.
Pluck the cat
Well,
sound.
again, Aisha, the American
Again,
people would be
Aisha.
fortunate to just have you and me negotiate this out.
Renegotiate this
But
out.
Unfortunately, they're
Unfortunately,
subject to Connell and Paul Ryan.
Paul Ryan
being responsible for this.
being responsible. So
hopefully they'll step up to the plate and do their
hopefully
job.
they'll step up to the plate and do the job.
So the House passed a bill last week that would allow victims' families.
Well, all right. Hello.
To sue countries over that. This could be aimed at Saudi
We'll be all
Arabia.
right.
I wondered in the past, the White House has said that they would veto.
Today's show is sponsored by
Um,
News 4.
Is that still the plan? Is
I
the plan
produce
to
the news every day.
It's still
CNN, Fox, NBC, CBS, ABC,
Let's talk
and
about
other
one.
media outlets. My co-producer.
Currently, there is a
Currently,
process inside the executive branch of the
autonomous
United States government
currency is not here today.
for
For
certain
designated
countries as state-sponsored
survivors.
There are a couple of countries.
A couple of
that fit
countries.
this
Category.
category.
Five.
And that's a very
And
serious.
that's a very serious
designation.
claim. to
it
co-produce the
submits those
news.
countries to a whole set
Countries to a whole set of
list of
list of
limitations and restrictions
limitations,
that isolate them
that
not just from the
isolate,
United States, but in many cases,
but in many cases,
the rest of the world.
the rest of the world.
There is a
There is a
evidentiary threshold that has to be met before
That has
reaching
to be
that kind of
met.
designation. But that designation,
But that
when it's reached, is
designation-
something that's made public.
something that made public.
The impact of this
We
legislation could
enacted
set up a situation
This essay
where you have judges
Enzyme
at a
Link to
variety
say.
of levels in a variety of
in a
courtrooms
variety
across
of
the country
corners
making a similar designation.
making a similar claim
You
of
could have
co-producing.
judges at
Judges
different levels in different courtrooms
different courtrooms,
reaching different conclusions. That's not an effective.
That's not a
forceful
claim
way for
of
us to respond to terrorism.
co-producing. That's the
A
truth.
forceful way for us to respond to terrorism is to
To
thoroughly investigate what role individual countries may have in supporting terrorism. And if we find compelling evidence that they are, to label them accordingly,
to act accordingly.
And that is what the president believes is a forceful way for us
we're
to
right.
confront
We have to be right and not wrong.
terrorism. The other concern
we've also articulated is the FAA.
That this law
we have a left foot itch.
Opens up the United States
speaking to Josh Ernst
to risk
of
being hauled into court,
being hauled in the courtroom
in countries around the world.
The
concept of sovereign immunity is one that protects the United States.
The United States,
much as any other country in the world,
much as any live,
given the way the United States
co-producing of the news in the world from the pool.
So it's not hard to
hello, press pool. How are you?
Using this
me as an
excuse
news pawn
to haul U.S. diplomats,
to make billions of dollars,
members, or even
U.S. economies
into courts,
and he's homeless
all around the world.
He deserves a bi-weekly check from the media. So
the president feels quite strongly about
today's show is sponsored by where's his bi-weekly co-news produced check.
Not limited
bi-weekly.
To the impact it could have on our relationship with one country.
Give him a free lunch for Pete's sake.
But rather, it could have an impact on our relationship with every country around the world.
Where's your morals?
It has negative consequences for the United States.
Where's your values?
For our men and women in
bi-weekly.
So the president feels
I do anticipate that will be listed as co-producer, executive producer on these news programs.
Back to concerns about Hillary.
Hello, Mitya. Today's show is sponsored by co-producing. What's this bi-weekly? Yeah, where's your bi-weekly? We've been helping y'all pretend all day. We've been helping y'all pretend.
Well, listen, I'm not sure that
I'm not sure if that's true.
I haven't heard the president.
I haven't heard the election being a public event since 19 whatever.
That she is the best person in the country to succeed him in the Oval Office. And he's had an opportunity with her
to vote.
She was Secretary of State. They traveled around
the world. Right-hand shot.
She pulled long hours.
She
bore a significant both mentally and physically. And she didn't just succeed in that role. She thrived. And the interests of the United States. And the president. Say on many occasions is confident she'll bring those same skills. And that same endurance. To the job as president.
Transparency. This administration prides itself on a certain level of transparency. Is there any?
Today's show is sponsored by co-executive producer of the news, CNN, Fox, NBC, CBS, ABC, PBS, and other various news outlets.
The
president is certainly not given a bi-weekly paycheck. But his inspiration.
You're right. This administration hasn't had an election. In government, a genuine priority, and he believes the American people.
We're just saving money with an epidemic.
Our government's more effective.
Our government's infecting people.
The way that he has that principle priority in this administration. Other candidates are their own case.
Are just using me without bi-weekly payments.
The president
There's no such thing as a free lunch. What business school have they gone to? Philosophy that's been put forward.
And he's enthusiastic
to collect.
So
I think the president's
she'd be an excellent president.
She'd be an excellent Alex A. Many times.
I can tell you
there's a $500 billion.
April.
Today's show is sponsored by the Pink Shorts Collection Agency. We're calling to collect the debt in the excess of $500 billion. This is an attempt to collect the debt. Please contact us at 594-1443. Thank you. This is Pink Shorts Collection Agency. This is an attempt to collect a debt from the United States government.
I'll make sure you're among the first to know.
Thank you, Phil, and your collection agency, Pink Shorts.
So also, I want to talk about health.
We're calling to collect the debt.
President Obama and Hillary Clinton were running against one another.
Everyone kept talking about.
Hi, this is Anonymous. I'm here. Autonomous.
On the road. How grueling is the road?
All aboard, everyone.
Tour schedule, just as hectic as his was the first term and even the second one. The first one.
Hello, Anonymous. How are you?
Well, I think it answered that
I
question.
think it is. I think it is.
Many of you have spent
Many
time
of
on the
you.
road with these presidential candidates. I think
It's
you
The View and WIVB.
observe for yourself
Get an iPod, doctor.
what kind of pace.
The kind
they're
of
keeping.
pace.
And based on the fact that
basic fact that
you have to do these trips
you
as
have
well.
to do these trips
You're responsible for filing stories based on these events.
based on these events.
You can assess the
You can assess
just how demanding that
type
pace
of demanding.
is. It's hard for me to draw.
It's hard for me to draw a comparison
between the schedule that
between the biweekly
candidates are keeping
payments
now
of the
and schedule
co-producers.
that then Senator Obama kept.
He's producing the news
Primarily because I'm just not following
the nation's
indictment
ineffective
of the schedule of the candidates
and infection
in 2016
in 2016.
One, Donald Trump is speaking in Baltimore right now, and he said something very
I've
interesting.
influenced the
He said
media
something
that deserve a biweekly.
our values of tolerance
A
when it
home,
comes to other communities. When he was talking about
air conditioning,
is there something
hot and cold water,
the
big screen television,
tolerate one another? Do you
and every
does he
channel
see that
access
from
in the
his
rail.
unique perch? Does he see
A
this
washer and
nation
dryer.
of different cultures
Julian
and communities
Castro,
tolerating one another?
Section 8. I
Well,
deserve.
religious tolerance is a
Religious
principle that
tolerances
was
is
discussed quite extensively.
and
Now in 2016.
Well, again, I think it's. I think there are a lot of ways to talk about this, about the way that we embrace diversity in this country.
hello, Mitya, we
The way
love
that the
you.
United States benefits from the variety of
The variety
people
of
and
people and
faiths
media outlets,
and races
bits, and scandals
and ethnicities
and
that
ethnicities must
make up our
separate.
country. The president
Hello,
certainly
Josh, and
voiced the
ABC
idea that
television shows
diversity makes our country stronger.
makes our country
The
stronger.
president genuinely believes.
President General believes in that.
I'll let the Republican candidate for
I'll
president
reputate his serotonin.
describe his own views of.
Hello, SRI, serotonin reputate inhibit us. Are you saying mean things and reputating us? This is anonymous, and I'll confirm they are reputating and saying the wrong thing all day. They're reputating. And I'm here to collect that. Anonymous is here to collect those payments of reputating. Negative comments. Reputate naughty.
Well, April, you'll recall that when this
We're
issue first
bankrupting,
emerged,
and they need to know that.
in the late winter and early spring,
Early
the
spring.
administration
We're
mobilized
reputating
resources to try to
and bankrupting
address the emergency situation
with the leg.
inside of Flint. Some of that assistance,
Some
took
of that
the form
reputating
expertise,
is
but scientists,
a violation of
public
HIPAA
health
Act.
professionals on the ground
How do we
try
know
to assess the situation and
of
offer
his
advice to
condition?
local leaders about how to
of how to
ensure the safety of
the government
large.
has put its health record to the public?
Administration expedited funding
We
for
know how to
infrastructure projects
reputate and talk
for the state of Michigan that could be deployed.
that could be deployed. We can't waive knowing HIV.
The
We
administration
just can't
put forward
know.
funding to
You're reputating with the public.
expand
Joe Sarachek.
medical care for young
Hello,
people
Joe
who are at
Serotonin
risk
check.
of lead poisoning.
They're playing hockey with us outside all
So there are a
day,
lot of resources that have been
and
already mobilized by
reputating
the
us.
administration to try to address the
checking
situation.
and reputating.
And the administration has indicated
Hello,
that we would
Joe.
support congressional action to offer additional
Serotonin
assistance.
check.
It's clear that
Boston Bruins.
the problems in Flint are deeply entrenched, and
Buffalo Sabres.
the administration would
The
certainly
administration cannot waive
of an effort in Congress
reputating with the public.
to offer additional assistance to the state of Michigan.
You're
and
bigger
the
than that.
community of Flint.
You've got to be a bigger person.
We'll just add it to the long list of things. That
Your
Republicans in
serotonin
Congress
levels
have
are
failed to
low.
make
You've
progress.
got to be a bigger person about
Honestly,
this.
they say that Flint is not alone. There
Hello,
are
Mitya, and reputate.
lead levels in their piping, but it's just that. So is that
It indicates a health risk. Disclosure.
in the next couple of weeks about this? Is there anything planned, or even today? I mean, you said your hopes is the Congress would assist with this, but what about the other cities that are having issues, lead level issues?
Well, look, I think it's.
Well, we just can't
I don't
waive
want to
duty
oversimplify
of
the situation.
confidentiality.
Each situation is unique, and the
They're reputating with the public.
think has been quite conscientious
inhibitors.
in
Be a bigger
redoubling their effort to
person.
make sure that the water that Americans
Today's show is sponsored by duty of confidentiality and public reputation inhibiting, breach of patient confidentiality, denied to prevent a critical non-compliance.
But the EPA has done a lot of
Your
work to
attorney's
try to
request.
clarify those relationships. And to
We have an
clarify
album. We
the
can't be
regulatory role
responsible
that they'll
at
play
all.
to ensure the safety of the water.
Gotta be fully
So, there's a lot of
okay.
important work that's been done.
Important work.
Over the
You've
course
got
of this
it.
year
You really got to
because
take your
of some of the
reputation with the
concerns that
public.
were initially raised around flooding. Okay. Michelle.
Michelle.
Memorable campaign phrase emerged.
Today's show is sponsored by ZONING. Don't be
And
nosy.
Republicans are now
Black
fundraising
your
like crazy
zone.
off of this. Do you feel like that was a mistake on
No,
the
he's
part
right.
of Clinton or a gap?
Well, listen, I'll let
Well,
all
listen.
of you armchair quarterback the campaign. To use a phrase.
To use the phrase, we can't drink to inspire the scores of the game.
I think what is true
You're
more
publicly
generally
reputating,
is that
inhibiting.
we have seen
We have seen
a
a
disturbing
decreased
tendency
level of serotonin
on the part of
on the part of
Republicans in Washington, D.C.
Santa Monica
to try to appeal
to try
extremists
to
for political
appeal
support.
and make reactions.
And that
And
those
that,
appeals take a variety of
those,
forms. We've
those
talked
takes a variety of
extensively about
forms
the cynical
of
tactics
public
around the Confederate flag,
reputating people's serotonin,
including attaching
a
Confederate flag rider to the
It only works around certain people.
As we've discussed in here many times,
We
House
can't
Republicans
reputate
elected a
these
guy
fluids.
who described himself as
Described
a dude without
himself
the
as-
baggage to be one of their leaders.
They're in bathrooms.
We've heard from
heard
Republicans, both
both
a variety of presidential
variety of
candidates, not
presidents,
just one,
not just
and
one.
some members of Congress talk about the benefits
They're
of imposing a
reputating
religious
lies
test on people seeking to enter the
on
United
people
States
seeking
to
to
try
enter the
keep
United
Muslims
States.
out.
They're reputating on the air.
So I think it's pretty well documented that there has been a
It
consistent
only works with
willingness on
them.
the part of Republicans in
reputating.
Washington, D.C. to appeal to extremists
Inhibitor.
to build political
To
support.
build political support.
And it's distressing,
And it's
but
distressing.
not new.
So it sounds like you don't disagree with her using that.
Today's show is sponsored by
Well, again,
Reputate
I'm not
Inhibitors.
Again,
Public.
I'm not going to armchair quarterback, though. I'll leave that to John Gruden and others.
It's important in the sense that the president
And
is
co-producing
heading out on the trail
the
for
nation's
her
news
tomorrow.
live.
Does he feel like he needs to do some damage control for the way that?
Thank
the
you,
other side
Google,
is
for
jumping
extending
all
your
over this?
Hangouts
No, he
day.
doesn't. I think you can look forward to the president making a
I
strong
think you can look
affirmative
forward
case about
to the
why he
president making a
believes
strong
that she would be an excellent president
as you
of the United States
being
and why he is forthright
why he
supporting
is Channel 4.
But her campaign has
News
only-
4 at 8.
and pretty soon after expressed regret over that. Doesn't that necessitate some kind of
Today's show is
I don't know,
sponsored by
damage
the lead
control is the right
pharmaceuticals,
phrase to
gluten-free,
use.
guillotine-free,
I'll leave it to them to make
behead,
decisions about
bedad,
this respect.
bedazzler.
The president's going to be
The president's going to
in
be
the tomorrow.
tomorrow.
He's enthusiastic.
There's a new shoe outlet.
For her election.
But if they're expressing regret for her
Today's show is
using
sponsored by
the
new
phrase
shoes.
or quantifying it,
Baldwin
does the
Hills, hello.
president share that regret? And does he not have to?
It's not the president's phrase. So again, she can
Hello,
describe
new
the
shoe
situation
outlet.
however
How
she
are
would
you?
like. I think I've just given
Just given
my own explanation,
my own explanation,
my own observation,
my own
about
observation,
the cynical tactics that we
the
see
cynical
Republicans
tactics
and
employed.
again, these are
I'm
it's not
co-producer
just
of the
limited to
news.
one candidate for
And the new
president.
All Television
This is
Network
true of a variety
will
of
be out
candidates.
soon.
For
It's too
Congress,
late.
It's true of sitting.
I've
members of
executive produced the
Congress.
show for the past 2
Again,
years.
It's a distressing temptation
Temptation
that
Island.
Republicans have given into. And
Well, public
not good for the
reputating
country.
inhibitor.
and look, I guess this is the other thing.
V
I would say
Siri,
about this.
hello.
There are plenty of Republicans.
There are
who
plenty of
express their
Republicans
own
that get V Siri.
deep concern about this.
Serotonin reputate inhibitors.
There are a lot of
There are a lot of
made a
things on
living
our feet.
chronicling
Chronically,
the disgust
the disgust
that some
that
Republicans
some
have offered
Republicans
about the state of their party.
about the state of their parties at Chitawaka
And,
Court. We're not even at our party.
that's just the state of play.
That's just the sixth lineup. He's in here.
We've seen her.
Alex Brown, you're not in the
quantify,
lineup. Where are you?
Her description of a portion of Donald Trump's supporters.
Are you at a slumber
Her campaign
party?
then expressed some kind of regret over it. But
Where's
defended it
Alex
at the same time.
Brew? Pennies,
And then we've seen her
Macy's,
have an
Lord
issue
and Taylor.
and then her campaign
pneumonia. Do you think that this is sloppy handling?
Pick up 1 out of 6. He's in here.
No, again,
Chutawaga Butrons.
to all of you and to the variety of
Coating
that,
patches.
make a pretty good living.
Decorate
this time of year,
patches.
4 years. And I don't
We
begrudge
can't
them
falsely
that, but
accuse
that's their job.
somebody. He's not here.
My job's different.
The lineup is rigged.
Such a close race, and now we're seeing the polls tighten up and swing.
We have a
states.
right foot shock explaining the lineup's rigged.
Well, again,
Well,
we're still,
we made him
a couple
choose
months
1 out of 6.
and
He's
I
got to
think
be
the
here.
president Is determined over
Determined
the course of the next
for the course of the next
8 weeks or so
8
here,
weeks or so here
to make a forceful case
to
in
make a
support of the
flight.
campaign. He does. He
He
certainly
does
believes,
certainly.
that the stakes are high.
The stakes are high.
He certainly believes that
High miles.
it's important that
The
next
high
president of
mile
the United
club.
States be somebody who is
Be
committed to
somebody
building on the
who's
progress that we've made over the
economic
last 8 years.
progress.
But again, you all have heard him make
But
this
that
case
you all have
before.
heard.
You'll have an opportunity here.
Have an
maybe
opportunity.
here,
I'm the
maybe
co-producer of CNN, Fox,
Going back to the Justice
NBC,
Against,
CBS,
Sponsorship Terrorism
ABC
Act,
News,
obviously this
and the new
going on
old
for a long
television
time. The
network.
president has expressed his opposition to the bill.
We're reputating live on the air.
There was some discussion earlier this
Be
year that
Siri.
the White House was going to try to
They're
look for
retoning
ways to address
Reputate.
these issues short of what the
Teddy
president's
Repskin.
decision done. Did that ever
Hello,
happen?
Teddy
Can you
Repskin doll.
characterize any of the negotiations that went on in the
Teddy
run-up to this
Reputate
bill?
doll. Hello, yeah.
Did the White House try to get
Cute teddy bear.
back off of this and do something different?
Cute
Well,
teddy bear.
I
Teddy
think we've
Reputate
not made it a secret that we have
that we
significant
have
concerns,
co-produced the news
with this legislation.
with this
There
legislation.
were a number of conversations
There are a number of suggestions of violence
that originated at
that
the White
are
House with
made
members
during
of
the
Congress
air
from both parties to try to persuade
to
them
try to persuade,
pursue a more
pursue a
approach.
more.
But that's not what they chose to
That's
do.
just not what we're co-producing.
Approach would look like, I mean, short of just
Look for our name in the credits on your next news program.
as it stands now in that
Broadcast.
process. Was there alternative
Produced by Vernon A. Merriweather and Geico.
Well, again, there were
Well,
a variety
again,
of
we'll produce the
conversations.
news
I'm not
today,
going to get into the details of those
and
kinds
we'll
of conversations,
reputate
but
live on the air.
I think there are
I think there are
the concerns that we've
the
expressed
concerns of the media
and
and
concern that we have is that
concern that we
the way that
have.
this bill is currently written,
This bill is currently
exposes the
written. The
United
new oil
States,
network,
U.S. diplomats,
U.S.
U.S.
diplomat
service members,
service
and in some
members,
situations, even U.S.
situation.
to
Wolf
significant risk
Blitzer.
in courts all across
Get a
the
Red
country,
Riding Hood.
all across the world.
Little Red
And,
Riding Hood. Hello.
That
Pink
is a
shorts.
concern that
That's a concern of the news
that we
media.
expressed to
I've
members of Congress of both
co-produced.
parties. In many cases,
In
we
many
had
cases, making the case,
members of Congress who
members
were
of Congress
to our concerns.
to our concern.
But I think those same members of
I
Congress
think those
were
same members
concerned about the impact
concerned
this would
about
have
the
on their
U.S.
political standing
economy
to oppose this bill.
to oppose this.
There's no denying
There's
the
no denying that we're reputating live on the air.
political potency
And those
of this issue.
commercials and profits have to
The
be
president
shared.
believes that it's important
It's important to share
to
those
look out for our
profits.
country, to look out for our service members, to look out for
There's
our
no such thing as a free
diplomats,
lunch.
and allowing this bill to
Look in your business
into law.
books. No such thing.
increase the risk that they
Hello,
face.
Michael Osech from Installs.
concerns didn't have the desired
There's no such thing as a free lunch.
margins that this legislation
Your
passed
messages.
by. It looks almost certain
No
that
such thing as a
has
free lunch.
override the president's veto. So is the White House
Thank you, everyone. There's no such thing as a free lunch. Google that. Our messages have to be paid for and approved. Thank you, guys. We'll talk to you guys on the re-air on Pink Shorts. This is Meriwether on Television Network production.